And because she ran off, I'm going to start with that. Happy Tuesday!
Okay, but it is Tuesday, July 29th.
It is Tuesday, July 29th. This is the top 10 Tuesday. This week it's top 10 authors I own the most books from. And I ended the sentence with a preposition, but let's roll the intro.
So are you going to go first?
I don't care. Do you want to go first?
You go first.
Do you want to talk about our tough decision-making process in like 15 seconds?
Yeah, it was really, really tough to make this list because our book collections merged.
Recently.
And I have also moved a lot in the last several years for my doctoral training. So I, along the way, because it's expensive to move multiple times, and so I got rid of a lot of books eventually. So my list is smaller than...
My list is better than your list.
No, it's not.
Okay, so the first author I own a bunch of books from, I think 13, is Jeff Smith. Because I own the entire Bone series, which I started reading because a bunch of my students were reading it and I wanted to know what it was about. I also have the first two books from the Quest of the Spark, and like Tall Tales or something like that. And you walked out of the frame, but it's to you.
First one on my list, I'm going in order of the least to the most, I guess, is J.D. Salinger. I loved Catcher in the Rye when I was in junior high, and then I read a bunch of other Salinger's books. One of them is Raise High, The Roof Beam Carpenters, and Seymour, an Introduction.
Hey, is that the Seymour from The Perfect Day for Banana Fish Story?
It is the Seymour, same Seymour.
Okay, next author is Michael Scott. He's the author of the Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel series, and I have 10 of his if you count the 6 physical copies I have on the shelf and the 3 audiobook copies I have that of the first 3 books in the series, because apparently I have issues with like book collecting and whatever.
The next author on my list is Charles de Lint. I own 10 of his books, one of which is Jack of Kinrone. It's one of the first books I read by him after I read the collection of short stories. I really love this book, so I would encourage you to check it out. It's a fun story.
Okay, so the next author I own a bunch of stuff from is John Green, and the first book I read by him was Looking for Alaska. I walked past it in Barnes & Noble for like a couple of months before I picked it up. But I've got 13 of his books, sort of. I've got multiple copies. I've got like 4 copies of The Fault in Our Stars, and that's just print and audio and digital, and so 13.
Vonnegut. I own 5 books by Vonnegut. He is one of my favorite authors. I think he's absurd and interesting. And one of my favorites, well, I think it actually is my favorite, is Galapagos. And I think it's a really, really cool book, so I encourage you to check it out.
So my next author is Rick Riordan, who, well, Captain Mythology. I own 17. All of Percy Jackson, 3 of the Heroes of Olympus, and you're taking it from me because I'm doing this?
Yeah.
And the Kane Chronicles, and then all of Percy Jackson in, you're mocking me now, in audio.
Next author on my list is Octavia Butler. I own 8 of her books. She is by far, I'd say, my favorite author ever. I'm a tiny bit obsessed with her, like a lot obsessed with her. Kindred is one of my favorites by her. She is.
I love how you picked my copy and not yours, even though it doesn't figure into your count.
Because this was the first cover on the one that I read, and I gave away to someone and it disappeared. So
the author I own by far the most books by is Neil Shusterman, and this was the first book that I read, Dreadlocks. The title's on at the bottom. Yeah. I own 17 physical copies, 3 ebooks, and 3 audiobooks.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of books.
The next author on my list is Pema Chodron. I own 4 books by her. Probably going to hopefully own more soon. She is not a fiction author. She writes about Buddhists from a Western perspective and mindfulness meditation. One of my favorite books from her is When Things Fall Apart. I highly encourage you to read this, even if things aren't falling apart, but if they are, it's a really good read right now. So that was our list.
Oh yeah, right. Okay. Do you want to say it?
Well, no, that was our list. We'd like to hear about your tons of books you own.
the authors you own the most books from, leave it in the comments, and we will see you there soon. Until then, I'm the supplier.
I'm Tracy.
Wishing you happy reading, and don't forget to be awesome.
Bye!
The first author I own a ton of books from is Jeff. How did you do this last time? With me acting stupid next to you.
I ignored you.
Okay.